Broncos country. Let's ride.
Denver Broncos committed one of the worst trades in NFL history, preferring to take an $85 million cap hit than continuing to have Russell Wilson be their starting quarterback. Since the retirement of Peyton Manning, the Broncos have been searching and failing to find a franchise quarterback. For years, the team tried everything under the sun.
Dad, you've got to help us, Doc. We've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
Multiple off-seasons wooing Aaron Rodgers, even hiring his favorite offensive coordinator. And that move ultimately failed.
To say Aaron Rodgers will stay with the Packers.
Broncos looked to another quarterback who was complaining in the media. March 16th, 2022, Russell Wilson was moved in a blockbuster transaction. The Seattle Seahawks received quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th in 2022.
Oh! 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 Russell Wilson to the Broncos! Paradigm shifter forever!
The situation with the Seahawks had gotten very weird. Russell Wilson was playing the media game and playing both sides, saying how much he wanted to stay while also privately leaking that he wanted to leave. At one point, even having his agent leak the teams that he wanted to go to, even though he didn't want to be traded.
That Seattle had gotten, calls for possible, trade talks with you. Do you believe that Seattle has gotten calls?
Yeah, I definitely believe they've gotten calls for sure.
Russell Wilson now wanted to be the focal point of the offense, even leaking the new moniker of "Let Russ Cook." When it finally reached the crescendo where it was either pick Pete Carroll or pick Russell Wilson, the team shockingly picked the coach. Many in the media and myself thought the Seattle Seahawks had made a major mistake. Boy, would we be wrong.
Trading Russ a good move for the Seattle Seahawks? No!
The season was a complete and unmitigated disaster. Broncos-Colts game that season was one of the worst professional football games I've watched in my entire life.
The Broncos fans are bailing.
They've had enough.
It's 9-9. They're like, the heck with it. I'm out.
I'm currently sitting at 102 fever. I don't know what's worse, the fever or this
game was completely and utterly dysfunctional, and many stories were leaked about Russell Wilson's role within the organization and how he was treated almost like management.
Y'all didn't have a relationship outside of football?
No, there's no, it can't pick up the phone and call old boy or nothing.
Right.
And then,
What you mean you couldn't pick up the phone?
I don't got his number. Oh. He called me back like, hey, did you get a call? I'm like, no. He like, no, Russ just said he called you. I'm like, no, I got a call from a blocked number. He like, oh, that's him.
At the end, Nathaniel Hackett was unceremoniously fired, going on to be a fantastic offensive coordinator for the New York Jets, he said sarcastically. And Sean Payton was brought out of retirement, traded from the Saints to the Broncos to be a quarterback whisperer to fix the huge problem.
The Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson have reached agreement on a 5-year, $245 million extension that includes $165 million guaranteed.
Under Sean Payton, the start was just as bad as the end of the year of the previous season. The absolute low point being a 70-20 beatdown by the Miami Dolphins. But after that horrendous start, they started doing something that was odd in Denver. They started winning. Winning 6 of the last 7 games, 4 being future playoff contenders during that streak, and also beating the eventual Super Bowl champions on Thursday Night Football. The offense was better, and the defense was playing out of its mind. You would think all was nice, everyone was peaceful, and the experiment had worked. But behind the scenes told a very different story.
Again, in the bye week, on Monday or Tuesday, and they told me that if I didn't change my contract, my injury guaranteed, that I'd be, that I'd be benched for the rest of the year. And I think we had 9 games left or so.
Denver Broncos had asked Russell Wilson to take a massive pay cut, and if he didn't, they were going to bench him. This would be delayed until a string of losses at the end of the season, which would then end with Russell Wilson being benched for Jarrett Stidham. Seahawks side of the trade, this was a slam dunk. Sure, Pete Carroll ultimately didn't survive and was fired this offseason, Even with the subset of fans from the Seattle Seahawks wanting Geno Smith gone, the quarterback play they've gotten has been more than comparable to what Russ did. They collected a ton of talent and are poised to make a run in 24 and 25. From the Broncos' perspective, I wondered what their plan was, taking that huge $85 million cap hit. You do wonder, is the team going to just punt on the next couple seasons? Or would they try to fashion something together? But the release of Justin Simmons proves that the team has decided to hit the plunger. This trade completely and utterly broke the Denver Broncos, where they thought they would be right in tune with being a Super Bowl contender. Now they're looking at the barrel of being one of the worst teams in the AFC. And Russell Wilson, a quarterback that many, including myself, thought was going to be a future Hall of Famer, now it looks like it's probably going to end here. His play style, which was predicated on him moving around the pocket and hitting big shots down the field, was completely ruined by the defenses that stopped Patrick Mahomes. Having teams go deep to cover two shells made it to where Russ could no longer hit those deep shots. At the time of this recording, Russell Wilson has met with 3 teams: the New York Giants, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the Steelers being the odds-on favorite to obtain his services. And even though I may hate this man for what he did to my San Francisco 49ers, I don't want to see this end like this. I don't want his career to end with a whimper instead of a bang. And whomever becomes the next quarterback of the Denver Broncos, I'm sure their fans are hoping that this will be the last one for a considerable period. Because the bad man